We'll be starting here the topic of oceanography. We will start with the first topic here, ocean bottom relief or ocean bottom topography. It means what all lie below the water. It can be common for your sea or it can be for your oceans. Ocean bottom relief. Or we can say ocean bottom topography. Now remember one thing, as we have already covered these things in our geomorphology. We have crust here, which has two parts. One is continental crust, another is your oceanic crust. Continental crust is lighter, basically made up of felsic minerals, and oceanic crust is denser, basically made up of mafic minerals. So it has the dominance of felsic minerals, like we discussed granite. Am I clear with this? It has dominance of their mafic minerals, basalt. Is this clear? So this continental crust, it is lighter because of this felsic minerals. Is it clear? So can I say here density can be 2.0 to 2.6 grams per cubic centimeter or 2.7 grams per cubic centimeter, whereas this part is denser because of mafic minerals. Thus it can have density 2.7 to 2.9 grams per cubic centimeter. Hope this part is clear to everyone. Now, ocean bottom relief. It means as we move from land towards sea or ocean, what type of relief feature is below the water? Ocean bottom relief, or we can say topography. It has some major reliefs and it has some minor reliefs. In this major relief, if we specifically talk about, it is continental shelf. Then we have continental slope. We have continental rise. And then you have abyssal floor, or we call it deep sea plates. What are these reliefs? Major reliefs. And then you have some minor reliefs also there. You have their shoals, you have banks, you have canyons. As we move, we have sea mounts, we have guyots, we have abyssal hills, etc. Is this clear? We have their trenches, we have their ridges. About formation of trenches, ridges, we have already covered them in plate tectonics, so this will not cover again. I hope you are clear with mid-oceanic ridges. We have discussed it for Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, which are an outcome of which plate boundary? Divergent plate boundary. Constructive or destructive? Constructive margin. Very good. Is this clear, guys? Now, और भी आते हैं, corals and all are there, but let's talk about these are the main one. Fine. Now, but our major focus will be on these parts. And we have to discuss their characteristics. I hope this figure is visible to you all. Now listen here. This is the part of continent. ये दिख रहा है ये part. This is your sea surface. What is this part? Sea surface. It is the part of continents. Clear? Maybe it is mountain. Then as we move towards the coastal area, this initial part of the land which is submerged under water, what is this part called as? Continental shelf. Hope it is clear. Just like this, it is continental shelf, ये वाला part. As you further proceed towards the sea, where is our journey from? Land towards sea. This is continental shelf. At some point, continental shelf becomes steeper. Can I call this shelf a break? This is called continental slope. So whose gradient is more, shelf or slope? Slope. So this part here, can I consider this part to be shelf break? और ये part क्या start हो जाएगा? Continental slope. Am I clear with this? With depth, continental slope loses its gradient. As soon as we will move deep, what is happening? Continental slope losing its gradient. The question is why it might be losing its gradient. It is because the turbidity currents, it is because of the sediments which are being washed away by the turbidity currents, deposited them here. और यही आगे जाके किससे मिल जाता है? Deep sea plains. Hope it is clear. After that you have here ridges. Are you able to see? You have here trenches. You have here volcanic mountain-like structures. What is this called as? Sea mount. ये वाला part. And if any part of the volcanic structure comes out of the water, what it result into formation of? Volcanic island. Am I clear? So there are many more which we will discuss simultaneously. यहाँ देखिए. What is this part? Continental shelf. What is this part? Continental slope. This is continental rise, and it goes and meet with what? Deep sea plains. Am I clear to this? Let me draw this, and one by one we will explain all of this. Hope it is clear to everyone, this figure. Now remember, is this floating? No, it has a base there at the bottom. What will be this called as? Volcanic islands. This part is continent. This part is continental shelf. What is this called as? Shelf break. This part is continental slope. This part is continental rise. This part is your abyssal plains. What is this? Trench. What is this? Ridge. This sea mount. Guyot. And these two abyssal hills. Am I clear? And there can be some submarine canyons. What are these? Deep valleys in between. Forget about that right now. Is this part clear? ये समझ आ रहा है? Now, let's discuss first part, which is your continental shelf. What we have to discuss here about? Continental shelf. Can I say here, continental shelf is a part of the continental lithosphere? Continental shelf is the part of continent which is submerged under water. What has happened to it? Submerged under water because of multiple reasons. Not because of one reason, because of multiple reasons. Different schools of oceanography have explained the different reasons for the formation of continental shelves. At some localized certain specific places, some studies were conducted and some particular reason was given for it. So when I say what is continental shelf, can I say it is a gentle seaward sloping area. Clear? What is slope gradient here? Very gentle. So it is a gentle seaward sloping area. Or if I have to write the same thing here, continental shelf is a part of, or rather than part, I can say it is an extension of continental crust, which is submerged underwater, which is submerged underwater. Because of following reasons that I will discuss with you. I can use one more statement. It is a gentle seaward sloping area, which is a extension of continental crust submerged under water. Now, how it is submerged underwater? Let's discuss that. What could be the possible reasons? बताइए जरा, what all do you think can be the reasons? यहाँ से देखो. Can I say one of the reason can be, ध्यान से सुनना, due to the change in the sea level? First, one of the reason can be there due to change in the sea level. Now, there can be multiple reasons. Can I say global warming can be one of them? Is it clear? Sea surface is increasing. So, as sea surface is increasing, what will happen to the part of the continent? Get submerged underwater. But understand in Paleocenic age, when there was a ice age, is it clear? Some land masses, when there is a ice age, ध्यान से सुनना, some of the land masses were dry and directly exposed to atmosphere. Can I say glacial erosion and deposition must have been taken place there? And as the ice age was over, what happened to water level? Again increases. And those dissected parts, newly emerged land parts, were now submerged under water. Now listen here. One of the school of oceanographers hold the view. One of the school of the oceanographers hold the view that faulting can be the reason. I hope you are clear with the faulting. Diastrophic activities, elongated troughs are formed. What are troughs? Depression. बेटा यहाँ देखो, ये पार्ट में, हाँ हाँ diastrophic activity है, tectonic से related. Now assume this is the land, there a faulting has been created. What will happen to this part? Slightly subside. समझ आ रहा है? As this part subsides, so what will happen to some part of the land? Goes under water. समझ आ रहा है trough here? So it is saying that due to faulting, one of the school of the oceanographers is of the view that faulting has taken place, which has created elongated troughs which are formed along the coast. Where are these formed? Along the coast. अगर मैं इसकी एग्जाम्पल दूं, फॉर एग्जाम्पल रेड सी, हुआ था डाइवर्जेंस वहां की नहीं? So what happened? Can I say fault has formed there? Then you have Queen's, what do you call this? Open this map of Australia. Jaldi follow map. Open this map. There is Queensland also. Check to the northern part. On the eastern side, you will find this division Queensland. ये दिख रहा है Queensland का northern part. Papua Guinea Island, and between this Queensland, the part has been submerged. Why? Due to faulting, a trough has been created. Check on the maps, Queensland and New Papua Guinea Island. In your atlases, you will find it like this. यहाँ देखिए बेटा. What is this territory? Province? Queensland. Here you have this Papua New Guinea Island. ये वाला part है, ये वाला part. We call this submerged shelf. कैसे बना ये? Due to faulting activities. Am I clear with this? Continental margins collapse due to faulting, and hence continental shelves were formed. Am I clear with this? समझ आ रहा है ये? और बताइए क्या हो सकता है? और बताओ कुछ. Deltas. What is there? Deltas. I hope you are clear with types of deltas. Condition for the formation of deltas. Different types of deltas. Now tell me, Mississippi Delta in the Gulf of Mexico is an example of bird food delta. Very good. So write about it. Delta growth, right? Specific localities where deltas are rapidly growing, bring huge amount of debris, along with them. And helps in the formation of continental shelf, at local level. For example, Mississippi Delta. Any other reason you think? Rivers. What will rivers also bring? Deposits. अब ध्यान से सुनना. As rivers will bring deposits, and these deposits are deposited along the shoreline. Is it clear? समझ आ रहा है वो पूरा part? We have already discussed that in the delta formation. River profile is clear, which we have discussed. So when these rivers come, they will do here deposition. Now, when the deposition will be continuous, can I say the weight of the sediments will increase? Pressure will be there. So what will happen to this part slightly? Amazon River. Open the map of South America. Where is Amazon flowing? South America. One of the largest river of the world in terms of water volume. I believe this figure must be there in your atlases. यहाँ देखिए, ऐसे आपको Amazon मिलेगा draining into Atlantic near Gulf of Macapa. In this part, it does lot of deposition. As it brings lot of deposition, what will happen to this part of the land? Slightly got subsided. तो shelf है क्या? यहाँ देखो, gentle seaward sloping area. Am I clear with this? So what we discussed, change in sea level, faulting, deltas. So when I say change in sea level, can I say it can be because of glaciers also, melting and forming of glaciers? What else do you think apart from this? Can I say submarine deposits? देखो दो deposit, terrestrial and submarine. There will be weathering inside the ocean also. When the rocks will get buried and from the land, rivers will bring lot of sediments. There can be volcanic deposit within the water. So when deposits are more, what will happen to sea level? Rise. Thirsty crow की कहानी नहीं सुनी? He began to drip the pebbles, water level rise. Am I clear with this? So these can be the multiple reasons for the formation of shelves. So can I say in high altitude areas around Greenland, Norway, we have glaciated shelves? Is it clear? समझ आ रहा है? So can I say continental shelves will have lot of terrestrial deposits? Because various deposits come brought down by the rivers towards sea. Is first part clear? How continental shelves are formed? Am I clear with this? So it means continental shelf is the extension of continental crust which is submerged under water due to relative rise in the sea level. This relative rise in the sea level can be because of this further reasons. समझ आ रहा है? Is this clear? Now let me come to another part. Shall I rub this part? So what we write here, it is a gentle seaward sloping area with average angle of slope less than 1 degree. What is the average angle of slope here? Less than 1 degree. But you will remember it nowhere is more than 2 to 3 degree. However, it is nowhere more than 2 to 3 degree. So what is the average angle of continental shelf? Less than 1 degree. But some places it can be more, but cannot go beyond 2 to 3 degree. This is the first other characteristics. What else do you think? Yes, any other thing? It occupies 7.8% of the total area of ocean or sea. How much area it occupies? 7.8%. Now, in this part, you can cite out some example. For example, Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean, and Indian Ocean. Can I say these are our major oceans? Now, if you talk about in Atlantic Ocean, shelf occupies 13.3%. कितना एरिया ऑक्यूपाई करती है? 13.3%. In Pacific Ocean, the same shelf occupies 5.7%. And in Indian Ocean, 4.2%. But what is the average? Not more than 7.8. Sometime in prelims they ask you, which among the following statement is true? Let's say continental shelf occupies 7.8% of the total area of ocean. This is true. Now in the following three, which occupies the maximum area? It is Atlantic Ocean. After that, less than that, Pacific, and less than that, Indian Ocean. Am I clear with this? What else do you think? Any other characteristics you feel? बताइए. Yes. अब आते हैं नेक्स्ट पार्ट पे. एवरेज डेप्थ इज 200 मीटर. कहां से बेटा? सी लेवल से. बट इट कैन बी as shallow as 50 meter and as deep as 600 meter. Am I clear with this? यहाँ देखिए, this sorry, this is sunlight penetrating. ये शेल्फ, इट एवरेज कितनी है 200 मीटर. इट कैन बी एज शैलो एज 30 to 50 मीटर, एज डीप एज 600 मीटर. समझ आ रहा है ये? सो कैन आई से इट लाइज अलोंग द फोर्टिक जोन? कैन आई से दिस? I hope you are clear with the photic zone. So thus the major area is of photic zone. Is it clear? अब ध्यान से सुनना. As it is having the major area of the photic zone, can I say it has abundance of the marine life? Algae, fishes, is it clear? Corals, so there will be maximum biodiversity. Is this clear? It is the most bioproductive region of the ocean ecosystem. Is it clear? So can I say the significance of the continental shelf? Correct me if I'm wrong. If I have to write few significances here. First, being a photic zone, can I say entire seafood comes from continental shelf? Prawns, fishes. Then, can I say it is having algae? This algae can be used for the generation of biofuel, जिसको alga culture कहते हैं, that you're going to study in your science tech in the biofuel part. What else do you think? Other significance? So when I say entire seafood come from continental shelf, can I say it helps in achieving the food security? Coastal areas, the people living around them, their economy is dependent on the fishing. After that, another significance, it is a large storehouse of sand and gravel. Am I clear? And then 20% of the world's production of oil and natural gas comes only from the continental shelves. Because in this shelf only, when the rivers will come, they will bring sediments, they will bring along with the some dead decay of animals, plants, and where will they get buried? कहाँ पे भरी होंगे? Shelf पे. So can I say over the period of time, these shelves will be rich in terms of fossils? समझ आ रहा है? Take an example. In India only, KG Basin, Persian Gulf in Iran, eastern coast of USA. Around these shelves, what is there? Huge petroleum and natural gas deposits. Is economic significance also clear? One thing I forgot to mention here was the width. What was another part? Width. You will remember width. Average width is 75 kilometer. How much? But this is average. But some areas, like if you talk about East Indies or eastern coast of USA, of North America, it is from 150 to 300 kilometer. If you talk about in Arctic, Siberian shelf, it is around 1500 kilometer wide. समझ आ रहा है? Is this clear? So the shelves might vary in width from place to place. Some places they are less, some places they are more. Now imagine wherever continental shelves are wider, what will be fishing grounds? More. Is it clear? Another thing, what will be resources available? More. Now widest shelf is of the Arctic. Can you open the map of Asia? Are you able to see this white shaded part? This is the shelf. Is that clear? ये दिख रहा है बेटा, ये shaded part. In your atlases you can easily see in the physical map. ये shaded part, Siberian shelf here of the Arctic. Is it clear? Now why do you think most of the countries want to become the member of Arctic Council, because Arctic has abundance of petroleum reserves, hydrocarbons, fishing grounds. Is it clear? So it can fetch the need of a country with respect to its energy security, food security. समझ आ रहा है यहां तक? Is this clear? Similarly, open this map of North America. This is North America physical map. Try to focus here. ये जो पार्ट दिख रहा है पूरा, ये शेल्फ है. What is this whole shelf? दिख रहा है ये देखो. This was the Mississippi River, which creates this shelf here. Am I clear with this? So in this whole eastern part, what you have, rich petroleum industries there. There will be good fishing grounds. वहीं पे अगर आप मार्क करो, if you move to this part in Canada, you have this Newfoundland. देखिए बेटा यहाँ पे. Check it there, Newfoundland. Got it? Everyone? Around that, if you see this white shaded part, this is the shelf. Am I clear with this part? You will find their great grand race banks. Mila? Great grand race banks. It is one of the richest fishing ground of the world. See how much shelf is wider there. Is it clear? यहाँ तक समझ आ रहा है? Everyone, similarly open the map of Europe. Open this map of Europe. In this map of Europe, you will find Norway. Physical map पे देखिए, देख रहे हो North Sea का part? This is also shelf. Here the shelf is wider. लिख लो यहाँ पे North Sea में Dogger Bank, D-O-G-G-E-R, Dogger Bank. Shelf. Dogger Bank. लिख लिया? Everyone there? It is the second richest fishing ground of the world. Second richest fishing ground of the world. लिखा नहीं, आप खुद लिख लो. And remember one thing, in this area is also rich in terms of hydrocarbons. Am I clear with this? समझ आ रहा है यहाँ तक? Now, let's move to another part of it. You will remember one more thing. Continental shelves are absent or narrow. Absent or narrow along active plate margins. What are active plate margins? Where tectonic active, where we have plate boundaries. Where we have plate boundaries. Especially along, where are they? Especially along destructive plate boundaries. Where? Destructive plate boundaries. I will not explain it again. मैंने तब भी example दी थी. Where continental and oceanic plates will converge. ध्यान से सुना. Where continental and oceanic plate will converge. When oceanic plate, if it is oceanic, this is continental. When oceanic plate will subduct, can I say it will break some part of the shelf? Am I clear? One of the example, if you remember, at that time also I discussed with you. कहाँ के लिए पढ़ी थी हमने? This is South America. Here you have Nazca plate. What is this margin of the South American plate? Yes, convergent plate boundary. Ocean, continental. This is active margin. What is this plate boundary? Active plate margin. ये समझ आ रहा है बेटा? And what is this plate boundary here? You have passive plate margins. So along the passive margins, you don't have plate boundaries. So where will be shelf wider? Active or passive? Passive part. यहाँ पे आपको trench मिलेगी. What is that? Peru-Chile trench. So what you will remember again? I will repeat the statement. You will remember continental shelves are generally absent along the destructive plate margins, along the active plate boundaries. Why not on the passive? Because they don't have plate boundaries there. समझ आ रहा है यहाँ तक? And Shall I move to the next part? Is shelf characteristics clear? याद क्या रखना prelims के लिए, ध्यान से सुन. First, this part is important. Angle of slope is important. How much area they occupy? Width. Am I clear with this? So in South America or North America, where you will find maximum petroleum deposits, on the eastern margin of the continent or the western margin of continent. Why? Because they are passive margins. Western margins are active margins. Shall I move to the next? Chale next pe beta. Now which one is left? Continental slope. You will remember with further distance or with the depth, continental shelf, all of sudden gradient becomes steeper. The portion is called as shelf break, and there onwards what continues? Continental slope. So can I say about this continental slope? Again, continental slope is an extension of continental crust. Continental slope is an extension of continental crust. It is a steep sloping boundary. And can I say steepness increases with increase in depth? Is it clear? Now, when you talk about here angle of slope, you will remember angle of slope here is 4 degree. Angle of slope generally कितना है यहाँ पे? 4 degree. But what is this average angle of slope? It might vary from 1 degree to 25 degree. Is this clear? Now, is there any possibility of deposition here? Steepness is so much. Even if any deposit is there, where will it come? To the rise and sea plane. Then can I add one more thing here? So it means its angle of slope will vary. So right, in Pacific Ocean, it is greater than 5 degree. Pacific Ocean, it is greater than 5 degree. And Indian Ocean, less than 3 degree. Is this clear? Indian Ocean may generally less than 3 degree. Is this clear? These are the slope variations of the continental slope. Now, tell me one thing. It carries, how much it covers? It covers 8.5% of the total area of ocean. So if they ask you continental shelf or continental slope, which occupies more area of the ocean and seas? Slope. Less than that? Shelf. सबसे ज्यादा किसका होगा? Abyssal floor. Am I clear with this? समझ आ रहा है? Now, you will remember one more statement here. Average depth. Depth will vary from 180 लिखा है किसी बुक में, but you can say 200 onwards. तो चलो जो बुक में लिखा है मैं वही लिख लेता हूं. 1800 to 3000 meter. So here what we discussed. ये समझ आ रहा है? ये. It can be as shallow as 180 to 200 meter, as deep as 3000 meter. Are you getting with this part? So can I say it has majority of the part which lies in the aphotic zone? Is this clear? समझ आ रहा है यहाँ तक? Okay. After that, you have this part, continental rise. Now remember one thing, when I am talking about continental rise, with depth, continental slope loses gradient. What happened with depth? Continental slope loses gradient. It means angle of slope goes half degree. कितना हो जाता है? Half degree. Now, question is, what can be the possibilities here? Why it is happening? You will remember deposition by turbidity currents. Am I clear? Assume here turbidity currents will generate, what will they drag? Whole sediments to this part. Am I clear with this? समझ आ रहा है? And when I say loses gradient and it finally merges with, finally or virtually, ऐसा हमें लगेगा, merges with abyssal plains. Am I clear with this? Now, in this part of continental rise, you have two type of deposits. One is terrestrial deposit, another is marine deposits. समझ आ रहा है यहां तक? Is this part clear? Now, we will move there onwards to abyssal floor. What will move towards? Abyssal floor. अब ध्यान से सुनना. We say abyssal floor is relatively flat. What is it? Relatively flat. जब मैं इस abyssal floor की बात कर रहा हूं और abyssal plane, we say it is relatively flat. ऐसा नहीं है कि when it was formed, it was relatively flat. It was having uneven topography. What was it having? Uneven topography. Now, what might have happened over the period of time? Let me draw it. Abyssal floor की बात कर रहा हूं मैं. ये कुछ ऐसा हुआ होगा. It must have been like this. Because आप खुद सोचो, ridges हैं, so much things are there. Is it clear? Where is the soul under? Water. I hope you are clear with this. Now, try to understand here. As from continental rise, turbidity currents bring lot of sediments. Sediments will be of same size or different size? Different size. It means in this abyssal plane, there was deposition. Is this a one-day process? It is million of years. Deposition कैसे हुआ होगा? अगर मैं ऐसे देखूंगी, initially what type of sediments must have deposited here? Finer or coarser? Coarser. Then above that, it must be some finer deposits. Then finer than this, and then finer than this. So finally, this area becomes relatively flat. So it means in these areas, the depositions might have taken place, which not in one day, it might have taken million of years to happen. So what is this? Coarser to finer. Is this clear? Same must have happened here. And finally, the deposition must have taken place like this. Hope it is clear. And the same part must have happened here. Am I clear? And finally what it becomes? Flat surface. समझ आ रहा है? So this results into relatively flat. अगर आपको पूछे क्या रेशियो है एंगल का, 1:1000. It means as you move 1000 kilometers over the abyssal floor, there is a relative rise in 1 degree slope. समझ आ रहा है? Why we call them relatively flat. Is this clear? Now, in the same part, ध्यान से सुनिए गेटवे. So here you have deposits, finest mud, smoothest topography. So can I say it is one of the smoothest part of ocean bottom topography? Hope I'm clear with this. If we move towards the depth can be 4000 to 6000 meters. What is average depth of ocean? 4000. 6000 कहाँ होगा? When I'm talking about these trenches, which is the deepest part of trench? Yes, deep. Is that clear? Deeps are the deepest part of trench. समझ आ रहा है यहाँ तक? Now, here some volcanic depositions can emerge out of the sea, can create volcanic, क्या कहते हैं इनको? Island arc, like Philippines Island, Japan Island, Caribbean Island, Indonesian Island, Andaman and Nicobar Island. Hope that part is clear to everyone. Am I clear with this? Now, you will write one statement here. एक statement लिखिएगा यहाँ पे आप. Abyssal floor is characterized with seamounts. Characterized with seamounts. Worldwide, scientists estimate that there are more than 1,25,000 seamounts. 1,25,000 seamounts which may have originated from, which may have the source from volcanic areas, like hotspots. I hope hotspots are clear to you. Hotspots and mid-oceanic ridges. Right, these volcanic deposits rise 1 kilometer above the deep sea ocean floor. Rise maximum how much? 1000 meter, or I can say 1 kilometer from the deep sea floor. What is this deep sea floor? Abyssal floor. यहाँ देखो बेटा. From this part they can max to max rise, not more than this deep sea floor. Can I say they have the point is pin top, just like inverted ice cream cone? Is this clear? Max to max, they never emerge out of the water. कितना rise करते हैं sea floor से? 1 kilometer. Is this clear? Now remember one thing. Similarly, if the top of the sea mount, क्या कहते हैं बेटा इसको? Sea mount. So can I call it submarine mountain? And what is this? Volcanic in nature. Now, if the top of the sea mount get eroded or denuded, can I say it will make a plateau-like structure? Same. This is called as sea guyot. What is this called as? Sea guyot. So remember, sea guyots are nothing but sea mounts. What is the only difference? Mount is having a conical shape, guyot is having a flat. Can I call it sea plateaus? Is this clear? And what is the height of the both? They do not rise above 1 kilometer. Some exceptions are there, but what is average? 1 kilometer. Is this clear? Now, these guyots are table mount also. क्या कहते हैं इनको हम? Table mount. And you will remember, any such structure when get eroded, if its height goes this structure or this structure less than 1000 meter, they are called as abyssal hills. What are they called as? Abyssal hills. It means any volcanic structure, ध्यान से सुनना, which have height less than 1 kilometer. It means they do not rise more than 1000 meter from deep sea plain. Am I clear with this? So can I say if they get denuded, they can come convert into abyssal hills? They have other name which is also called as sea knolls. What is another name of them? Am I clear with this part? Now, ridges are clear to you. That I will not explain. We have already studied. Trenches are clear to you. Is it clear? समझ आ रहा है यहाँ तक? Shall I move to the next part? This was in general about your ocean bottom topography. What was this? Ocean bottom topography. Now listen here. In this part, if they ask you which among the following is volcanically active, ये पूरे topography में, you will remember abyssal floor. Whatever structures are present in abyssal floor, what are they volcanically active? Now what is remaining here? Shoals is remaining, bank is remaining, canyons are remaining. Is it clear? That I will discuss tomorrow. Is it clear? Thank you guys.